Please welcome Mayor of Lancaster, Lynn Ruda. Village of Wellsville Mayor, Randy Shaler. City of Dunkirk Mayor, Willie Rosas. Western New York Regional Economic Development Council Co-Chair, Eric Reich. And now, please give a warm Western New York welcome to the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
Okay, good morning. It's great to see everyone. It will not be a surprise to my colleagues at the state for me to explain my affinity for the Downtown Revitalization Initiative. I'm of the opinion that this program is among our most impactful due to how it can be used to contribute to the transformation of the smallest village, or how it can be used to contribute to a boost in a larger city. It's about the kind of strategic thinking that makes the right public sector contributions that get private developers confident about investing and citizens excited about their community. And nothing is more gratifying than visiting a completed project with roads redesigned, buildings restored, and streetscapes alive with activity. It is a powerful program, but for me, the best part, honestly, is not just about the winners. My favorite part is seeing the cities and towns that submitted but didn't win, and how the process of participating in a valuable strategic urban planning effort has built unprecedented momentum in their municipality. The community reflects on the questions from the DRI committee and the feedback from the state to reconsider and redefine aspects that didn't meet the standard. Eventually, the state gets an even better application that is an absolute slam dunk to select. So I congratulate this year's winners, but I'm also excited to see all the revised applications that come from the downtowns that didn't win, and I expect to see you on the podium next year. When I look at DRI as well as the rest of the work of the RIDC, I view our responsibility to be moving our region forward by thoughtfully considering investments in economic development, cultural assets, community efforts, and placemaking. But none of that works without leadership. Trust me when I tell you that this governor has all of that covered and is doing it with the type of coordination and cohesion that will make this state much better than the sum of its parts. On behalf of the RIDC, I'd like to thank the governor for her continued support, not only for this project, but for the hundreds of projects we have in progress. She's an incredible leader, and having a governor who is intimately involved and understands the potential for our towns and villages is so wonderful and so valuable. I'm proud to be working on her behalf. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce Governor Kathy Hochul.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Eric Reich, I want to thank you for your leadership of the Regional Economic Development Council. This is the body that makes the decisions and the recommendations and does all the assessments. And so you, those of you who are winners, you want to thank Eric and everyone. I'm going to ask the members of the Regional Economic Development Council to please rise and thank you for all you've come on, everybody. Stand up, stand up. We have great representation from the individuals here that they also represent. I also want to acknowledge Paul Brown, who is represents the working men and women who build these projects. So, Paul, thank you for all you do for us on this particular body. You've been serving a long time, but also for what you do for the region. So, thank you. We have some great leaders here, and I'll be talking about each of their communities with a lot of affection. But first of all, Mayor Willie Rosas. You'll be hearing from him in a couple of moments, but we've been through a lot together. And I come out to places like the marina often. I try to sneak into town, call up the mayor to go to Dimitri's for breakfast or a cup of coffee, and You're always there, and you serve this community so well. So Mayor Rosas, let's give him another round of applause. Randy Shaler, our mayor from Wellsville, a beautiful community that I've come to know very, very well. Had a family of members live down there, and they always thought they lived in God's country. It's so beautiful down there, the natural beauty, the Alleghenies, all the assets. And so to Randy Shaler, congratulations to your community as well, although you don't know what I'm congratulating you for yet. Thanks for just coming here today. To Lynn Ruda, the mayor of Lancaster, we've walked your streets many times, and I'll go into my knowledge of a community. I have another family member living in Lancaster, so we have a big enough family, we have somebody everywhere. So it's great to be back once again. But, you know, we're here in Dunkirk, and I know the world was paying attention to something that happened a little further north on a cold day, starting at 3 o'clock. And I was proud to be there. I was proud to see the energy in that stadium, the love of the Buffalo Bills, win or lose, they are beloved by all. They're an inspiration. And when Damar Hamlin came up on the screen, I think all of our hearts just stopped. And knowing that God has given him the gift of life, and he's going to use that, he told me as we spoke, to inspire others and to tell his story to people who may have not realized that he believes it was the power of prayer that allowed him to live. I agree with him, and he wants to show his gratitude by helping young people in underserved communities know that they have a better destiny. So I want you to know, regardless of a score, they're our team. We love them. And next year, the Super Bowl. So, but as I was sitting there thinking about the wind and the snow and the cold, I'm thinking, how long is this winter going to last? How much longer we have to endure a brutal, record-shattering winter? And the world will await on February 2nd to see what Dunkirk Dave has to say. Right? Now, I've kind of lobbied Dunkirk Dave. I actually went and visited him off-season one summer. I was in the neighborhood, dropped by to make sure he's being taken care of. His owners love him. I do too. But Dunkirk Dave, come on, give us a break. So we will be waiting to see what he says about it. Punxsutawney Phil, Staten Island Chuck, great animals, I'm sure. But this is our own hometown, Dunkirk Dave. And so, but it's also, I think about the game, the region, Dunkirk Dave. I think about a region that is known for something incredible, and that is its resiliency, its toughness, its ability to come back after adversity. And we've had that story in Western New York, from the southern tier in Allegheny County, Chautauqua County, up to Erie County, because I lived it. I've been a lifelong Western New Yorker. I know all these communities so well. I know what we went through. Those of you who are as old as I am, and there aren't many in this room anymore as old as I am, but I remember when Jack Kemp was the quarterback. That's how long I go back. We got knocked down. A lot of businesses left. For most of my younger life, all my siblings trying to figure out their career, where they're going to go, it was not Western New York. They all wanted to stay. They wanted to raise their kids around family. They could not because there were not enough jobs. And that was a heartbreak. We exported. Our greatest export was our human capital. We sent our smart young people to other states and other communities and let them build up. But I am so proud to have lived long enough to see a complete reversal, where people want to live here. They understand the quality of life we have in especially our smaller cities, our little hamlets, our villages. And you can't put a price tag on the quality of life of raising a family in these areas. And that sense of community that's so strong and powerful. That's what we have here. That is a gift. We must cherish it. We must never lose that, but also be willing to open up our doors to more opportunities for others, and businesses that want to come in, and young people that want to graduate from our great institutions like Fredonia, that they can live right here. Alfred State, Alfred University. We have great assets here, and that's something. Sometimes you live here a long time and you get a little jaded and you just wonder everything else better somewhere else. I'm here to tell you, I've seen it all. There is nothing better, more tougher, more resilient, and more loving than the people and the places in these communities that we're going to be recognizing here today. So we have lost a lot. We also gained a lot, because I see and I feel a comeback. It is an extraordinary story of comeback. And I love what I see. We've had some job growth in places like Dunkirk over the last few years and other areas because people are starting, the cold storage facility, pharma is going to be reaching its full potential. I know that. And because of the people who believe in these communities, and I'll start with Dunkirk, who love the community so much, they came together to put together a vision with the mayor and said, we can do this. If we put together a vision for the future, not dictated by Albany, we don't want that. I get it. I was in local government a long time. But what our people want, what our community wants. And that's the beauty of the DRI program that Eric spoke about, is that we have the opportunity to execute your vision, give you the resources to make your future, your dream, actually become a reality. And that's why I'm so proud to announce that Dunkirk has been awarded a $10 million downtown revitalization grant. $10 million, stand up. Stand up. Yeah, stand up, stand up, yeah. Because I believe when it comes to Dunkirk, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because its position, and I'm a boater, a new boater, the last few years, the beauty of Lake Erie, but it's communities that dot the shoreline, like Dunkirk, have such potential. And it's almost like they don't realize how cool they can actually be. And it's that faith you need in yourselves, but take it from someone who's traveled and seen waterfront communities. We have everything we need to just launch into the future. Even the little boardwalk shops, I've been over there many times, and I just went to Dimitri's again this morning. They have really good eggs. I met Tony in the kitchen, of course, all the gentlemen sitting there, the 89-year-old who was at the game yesterday. I got to know everybody. They're all wearing their Bills clothes, so proud. So I love to hang out in places like that because you get that sense of being grounded. But they also love this community, and to know that there's going to be investments in them as a people, and to be able to take advantage of this magnificent location on Lake Erie and keep our marina strong from being battered by the winds, and restoring the historic downtown district. We have great bones. We have great buildings. The old buildings where a lot of them got covered up during what was inexcusable, the 1970s, when they plastered over all these old brick buildings. What were they thinking? I'll never know, but we're peeling it back. We're trying to bring back our downtowns and make them shine like they did a long time ago. And also be a real destination for tourists and local visitors, the day trippers, the people who are going to also discover this region as a gateway to the wine region and the largest contiguous conquered great region in the world. Do you know things like that? I know all these things. We have all that. And this is Dunkirk's position, not far from a major city, but also close to the many attractions. But I want to thank all of your members of your planning committee for putting forth a vision to create a sense of place and that is genuine and authentic. We'll never be one of those cookie cutter communities with everything looking the same. We're starting to see that, a big article in the news the other day, that you can't tell the difference when it comes to housing between Seattle and Austin and other cities because they're all building the same. We can never let that happen to our beautiful villages and towns and cities here. So we're going to create that authentic experience and be a catalyst for just organic growth, but also attract others and make sure that we're very inclusive in what we do, welcoming people, the new immigrants who want to just plant the flag like their grandparents, the grandparents and parents of many of us. And I know your mom's still in Puerto Rico, right? She okay? I know we were worried about her during the hurricane. So Mayor Rosas, you mentioned developing the marina. We know that this marina needs to be strong. It needs to attract people. We also have to continue working to have some fun options. I've always long believed that if you have a downtown brewery, the rest happens. It just happens. An indoor water park. And I know you have so many ideas and some visions. So, we know that these ideas are brilliant. They're great. That's what the community wants. And I'm really proud that we'll be able to put the money behind them. So we'll work with you over the next year. And less than a year from now, we'll be back to announce specifically what projects have been funded. We leave planning money in the award so you can bring in the experts to help you complement your local team already. So that is what we're going to be doing. So congratulations on being the Western New York region winner of the DRI Award, the City of Dunkirk. Again, congratulations. Now, as I traveled the state making announcements about these awards for many years, we often would counter leaders of smaller communities who say, well, we don't quite have enough projects for 10 million. You know, it's kind of a lot. You know, I know you want a vision to execute on the whole amount, but you know, is there any chance that smaller communities can compete for a lesser amount, for example? It's like, that sounds smart. Why not? And so we announced last year, first ever, we have it called the New York Forward Awards, which are $4.5 million awards, including some money for planning, that can just help maybe finish a vision a community has or to jumpstart and be a catalyst for more investment. Again, these are all catalysts. When I talk about that word, it's a catalyst for private sector investment. Every one of our DRI communities has been successful, and not just the 10 million that we give in support, but also that attracts other businesses. When people see success, they see a downtown coming back, they see the buildings getting that, you know, the luster brought back to them with streetscapes and connections to waterfronts. When we start doing that, other people start paying attention. Mark my words, that all of our communities that are award winners here today will start seeing others say, you know, boy, maybe I want to move there, maybe I want to bring my business there. So that's what's going to happen. So I'm really proud to announce that among our very first winners of this new initiative we put forth last year for our smaller but mighty communities, I'm announcing that the villages of Lancaster and Wellsville will each receive $4.5 million in New York Forward Awards. So congratulations. Congratulations. I know Lancaster very well. I used to represent it in Congress. Spent a lot of time there and got to know the people. And especially during the pandemic, you know, we were very concerned about the viability of the downtown because we had done so much to bring it back. The West Main Street project, cleaning up, you know, the sewer lines and the rundown curbs and all the things that make you feel like a community is kind of run down. You fix the curbs, you put in some trees and benches, all of a sudden there's new life. I felt it, even my hometown of Hamburg, which had lost its luster for most of my life, and now that is back. So I know the value of these initiatives. So we talked to the business owners, hit so hard by the pandemic. I think we went to the coffee shop and Bloomsbury Toy Shop. I need to get back there because I have a grandbaby now. And actually have someone to buy toys for. Three Dog Barber, is he still doing okay? Gentlemen, you need to go to this bar. You want to feel pampered? Go to the Three Dog Barber, which opened. I'm glad he's still doing well. But you know, I saw a growth in new businesses and an energy there that, you know, always could have been, but it wasn't until new leadership and a belief in these downtown areas. And people wanting to be in downtowns. People want to live in downtowns. And for far too long, our downtowns comprised of one story or, you know, first floor retail shops and businesses, but no one takes advantage of the upstairs. You know, maybe it's storage, maybe it's, you know, just vacant space. That's where people want to live. Not everybody wants to have a car. They ride their bikes around. You get everything they need there. And Uber doesn't help. It doesn't hurt. I mean, you can take Uber if you don't want to have a car. So life has changed, and we can put more focus on our downtown. So we're going to have more upgrades for the people who want to bicycle around. What you're proposing is to make the village more livable and healthier. Those are great objectives. Walkable streets, outdoor fitness center. Okay, that sounds great. New bike lanes. And also, again, we want to restore some of our historic buildings. You have some real gems there. The Opera House, the Masonic Building, the Boys and Girls Club. So take again the ideas from the community, create a mobility hub for people to gather, and it's all part of a holistic plan put forth by Mayor Ruda. Congratulations. Mayor Ruda, please take a bow to everybody. Thank you for... A little further down in Wellsville. Wellsville is so charming. Have you ever seen the Pink House? I mean, that Pink House it's like built in 1866 or something. Started then, done in 68. It's on the National Historic Record of National Registry of Historic Places. It's amazing. That's just one jewel you have there, but a lot of great homes and village, the city is downtown, and it's a beautiful place. It has such potential. It really does, Mayor, and I know you know this. But again, people live there a long time and just don't always feel it, what others see when you see the charm of it. So you want to take your assets and let them be catalysts for other businesses to come. And I know on Main Street, the former Rockwell department store could become housing, you know, bringing that life and that energy downtown and making more retail space. Or the municipal building could become hospitality space. The Grand Theater, so many of these downtowns have charming theaters, and they're just expensive to maintain, and sometimes it just gets to be much, but a lot of them were built around the same time. That was hit hard by COVID too, and they need some help getting back on their feet, because that often is the center of activity. People go to the theater and go to the movies, and I think there's such great opportunities here. And the other thing is, we talk about Dunkirk being on the water here. You've got great water. You got the Genesee River. Genesee River has a great story. People think about Genesee beer. They think the river's flowing with beer. That's not true. That is not true. But it's a beautiful river. It goes all the way through from Rochester through Letchworth State Park, or I've jumped off every cliff. Well, now there's signs that say you can't. I don't do it anymore. I used to as a child. I think that's why I'm a risk taker. I'm not afraid of anything. My dad would let us all jump off the cliffs into the river. But I have great memories there as well. But, I know you have a great vision, Mayor, and for the Sinclair Barrel House, what we can do there, apartments. Again, I keep focusing on apartments because one thing we have is people who want to live in our communities now. We didn't have that. We didn't have the jobs. People were leaving. And now we have to build the housing and create housing into spaces, and even our older buildings. So that can become a place to welcome people to the waterfront. It could be restaurant. It could be housing. It'd be extraordinary. So I'm so excited to know that there's people out there, people in this room and the ones who couldn't make it here today, who believe in their communities so deeply, who love them with such passion that it brought you here today. And as governor, but just by allowing a check, these aren't really real checks, but we'll get you real money. But knowing that just we can be the catalyst that jumpstarts a new energy and a sense of pride in your downtowns, that's what gives me the most pride. And what I love so much about being the governor of New York, there is so many communities that feel like a long time no one paid attention to them. I know this because I'm from here. That era is over. Every community, regardless of size, regardless of population, matters to me. So this is deeply personal. I want you to shine. I want you to go out there and to say, we are a fantastic community. People want to be here. We're so livable and viable. And if we can be help, if we can be support and help lift you up, that is what I'm going to continue to do every single year that I have the privilege of being your governor. So I want to thank all of you. I also want to recognize we're joined by County Executive P.J. Wendell here as well. We've went through a lot together. We went through a lot together during the pandemic. And I know we're going to continue working together to bring our communities back. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that you were here as well. But to all of you, congratulations. Give yourselves a round of applause. And let me present these checks. Don't take them to the bank. But the money is there, I assure you. I assure you. So congratulations, everyone. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to invite up Mayor Rosas to give us a few words on how you feel right now, Mayor. You did it. Well done.
Thank you. On behalf of all our city residents, I would like to again welcome the governor here to the city of Dunkirk. And I thank you, Governor, for the support that you have given our community here in northern Chautauqua County. It has been, for me, a learning experience since I came into office. I knew that we had issues that we had to deal with. And the main issue was that we needed to have a catalyst, a spark, to get things going in our downtown area and our waterfront. And we started to do that. Little by little, we started to get to the point where we are ready now. We're ready to take that giant step to become a destination here in Western New York. We believe that this plan that we proposed will help us to bring in folks from the western part of the state, which I'm talking about the state of Pennsylvania, state of Ohio. This will become a destination. I want to thank your staff from Empire State Development. They have been very helpful to our staff. They provide a lot of guidance and support, and for that I thank you. I also want to thank all the members of the Regional Economic Development Council. It was about 3.5 months ago that we went out to Buffalo to present our plan. And we immediately knew that there was something there. The response that we were getting was that it was a good plan. And obviously, it was. So I thank all the members because to have that vision, to know that this city can prosper, that this city can move forward, we needed these funds. This is a game changer for our community here. And I stand proud to be the mayor that brought forth these funds here. I also want to mention that we don't work alone. We have partners at the county level. I want to thank Mark Geis and his team, the planning team at the county level. They have been very helpful to us. We worked together with them, and this plan was no exception. They helped us out, they worked with us, and for that, I'd like a round of applause for the county team. And last but not least, I would like to thank our team, our Department of Planning and Development. There's a lot of time, work, and effort that goes into these plans. We don't always agree on all the planning that goes on behind the scenes, but in the end, we came to an agreement on what I believe is an excellent plan. So I'd like a round of applause for our team. I would like to acknowledge that the planning department has been directed by Vince DeJoy. Vince, could you please stand? And I want to mention that within the plan, there are 10 different projects that we presented. Among them is obviously our marina, but also we're looking at the water park. We're also looking at Jamestown Community College having a presence here in downtown Dunkirk in the city of Dunkirk. I know that there are plans underway here at this hotel to remodel every single room. I'd like to give the owners applause here for that. And I'd like to acknowledge the presence of my lovely wife, Rosita.
Great, thank you, Dunkirk. Great, thank you, Dunkirk. Next, Wellsville, Mayor. And the team from Wellsville. Thank you. Okay, next, Village of Lancaster. Okay, big group from Lancaster. Great, thank you all for coming. This concludes our program.